This is Sell Yourself Fearlessly, episode number 5. My number one secret to sales success. Well, welcome again to Sell Yourself Fearlessly, the show for entrepreneurs who love what they do, don't care much for the sales part of it. We're going to help you remove fear and uneasiness when selling your own product or service so that you can uncover more opportunities, spend more time on the things that you enjoy, and ultimately earn the money you deserve. Now, my name is Scott Whitney, and this is a Scott Whitney Academy production. We're broadcasting live from one of our studios here in beautiful Las Vegas, broadcasting to the Scott Whitney Academy Facebook page, if you'd like to check that out. And in addition to that, a video and audio version will be made available on demand in all your favorite podcast and video distribution platforms. You can also find us on the social media stuff as well. All right. My number one secret to sales success. What I'm about to open up with, I mentioned briefly on my website in the to my fellow entrepreneurs page, and it really comes down to this idea of having been in business for a little while and struggling, not quite able to get over the hump, yet you're seeing other people who are doing the exact same thing you are, same business as you are, and they're killing it. It's frustrating, can be depressing, a little unmotivating. And then what ends up happening is people are like, okay, well, what I need to do is invest in the business. I can see what they're doing out there. I'm going to invest in the same things. I'm going to spend more money on the equipment, the tools, software, staff, location, maybe advertising, all of these external things that they think will believe, or that they believe will fix the problem. But I want you to ask yourself this. Do you believe you are worth the investment? Are you worth the investment? See, it makes no sense to me to spend money on the business and all those external things if you as the leader don't know how to move the story forward. If you don't know exactly who you are and what you do and the problems you solve. If you can't do that, you're just wasting money. You know, it's kind of like spending money on a boat, but not learning how to captain the boat. What's that line? That boats are safe in a dock, but boats aren't meant for that, right? Our job as captains is to get the boat on the water. I'm sure we've seen examples where a great captain has a lesser boat and he wins, right? Well, it's the same thing for business. If you're out there spending money on the boat, on your external things, but you as the captain don't know how to drive the boat, what are you doing? It's not going to do you any good. So you must understand that you ultimately are responsible for the success of your business. And we've seen it before. We've seen people, I know you've seen people who are even putting out a lesser product than you, but somehow they're succeeding. Well, how is it? It has to be because the story they're telling is working for them. So that tells us this is a storytelling world. This is a sales world, and this is an educational play. We must be comfortable that we ourselves are worth the investment. There's a great quote, and it says this: realize this truth, that no one, and I mean no one, is better than you. They simply know something that you don't know, believe something better than you're believing, and are doing something that you're not doing. Here's the good news. Those are all things that can change very easily. It's all about education, right? It's all about getting yourself up to speed on how to tell the story. So we can start small when it comes to investing in ourselves. So I like books. Books are good. As a matter of fact, in an upcoming episode, I'm going to tell you what my favorite sales book is, a book I read once a year. It's a great book. Podcasts are certainly something that you can use to invest in yourself. There are a lot of really good podcasts about sales. I would consider this one of them, of course. Facebook groups, YouTube videos. We've all learned something on YouTube. I fixed my refrigerator this weekend because of a YouTube video. Specialty forums as well. But that's small potatoes. And if you're doing that and that's your extent of your investment, I think that's small thinking. You eventually have to think about coaching, of really investing in yourself and getting help. And it's weird because I believe there's a taboo about seeking help. People seem to be embarrassed by it. which doesn't make a lot of sense because listen, if my car is not working, I have no problem seeking help. I have no problem going to a mechanic and going, it makes a clicking sound. Can you help me? But when it comes to helping ourselves, we're all afraid because it makes us look needy, I guess. It just doesn't make any sense. You're worth the investment. So when I'm talking about coaching, what do I mean? Well, masterminds are something that come to mind. Coaching, like mentoring is capable of doing that. And then just straight on coaching. It could be one-to-one or one-to-many. But the idea here is recognizing that you must invest in yourself. Now, I am an eat your own dog food. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in myself, and it's been primarily because I needed to learn something to be better in my business. I've had a methodology that I started off with, 20 years ago, but it's not the only thing I do. I've used other bits of information that I've invested in, excuse me, to get better and better at what we're doing from a sales perspective. And this is not something that I've just started doing. I've been doing it for a long time, but yet I've been doing it this year. I've invested thousands of dollars this year. As a matter of fact, when I came up with the concept of the Academy, the Scott Whitney Academy, I've been thinking about this for a long time, this idea of doing training for folks. And I went down the path. I started going down the path. I built a number of things. I actually wrote a long online course, recorded it, spent untold hours putting this thing together, and was getting ready to launch it. And then came across something that caught my eye about online training and courses. And I did some more research and did more research and realized, oh my God, what I was about to do would have been a huge mistake. So I ended up spending thousands and thousands of dollars to get my course corrected, to understand that that's not what I needed to do. It would be better to do this. And the ROI on that was huge. It was fantastic. And I was grateful, as a matter of fact, for that. I'm about ready to do it again. There's an area of my business that I want to do better at. And so I am about ready to spend, I imagine, several more $1,000s to have somebody teach me about what I need to do to solve this a particular problem. But it's not just about money. It's also about your time. I've seen people who spend the money, who are willing to spend thousands of dollars even on training, but then they don't spend the time to actually consume the training, which again doesn't make much sense to me. So besides spending the money, you must block your calendar. This is what I do. So when I go down the process, of a new training course or a new training content for myself, mentoring or whatever, coaching, I immediately block my courses. As a matter of fact, a lot of these courses, a lot of these trainers will ask you to do that. I do that. But I block off an hour or 2 hours a day so I can focus my attention on getting better. It means you can't get on my calendar during that time because this is important to me. As a matter of fact, for the Scott Whitney Academy, some of the reasons why we don't invite people to join the Sell Yourself Fearlessly live training is because they don't have the time. We ask, listen, can you commit an hour and a half a week on the live training, which we do on Mondays typically, and then can you commit another hour and a half to do the homework? If you can't commit, we don't want to waste your time and your money because you're not going to get the benefit that we know you can get as long as you do the work we ask you to do. And then one other thing I'll mention, and that is this. It's not just the training that you get from somebody, from a mentor or from a coach. I also spend a great deal of time just getting my head in the right place in the morning. I call it a morning formula. I get up much earlier than I would normally want to do, but I'm actually kind of getting into this now where I get up, I exercise, I spend time on the business, I spend time on me personally, on me mentally to make sure I'm in a good place to help increase the probability of growing my business and increase the probability of helping people as well. So that's it. My number one secret to sales success is investing in myself. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, suggestions, send them off to podcast@scottwhitneyacademy.com. Again, podcast@scottwhitneyacademy.com. Well, there's that lower third. And if you like what we're doing, I'll ask you a couple of favors. First, share us with your friends, your family, your colleagues, all that good stuff. And then second, Give us a positive review, the 5 stars, the thumbs up, whatever it is on your favorite social media or podcast or video production platform. That's it. Thanks for checking this out. Now get out there and sell yourself fearlessly.